I know that definitely hurt him because I know he's never been hit like that.
How did it feel to stop him in that moment in the 7th?
It felt good, man. It felt good. You know, I haven't got a stoppage in like 3 fights, so I just maybe like 4, 3 fights. Yeah, it's 3 fights. So I love stopping people. You know, I love how that feels, and I'm really happy. I still need to look at the highlights. I haven't even seen the highlights, but you know, I'm just really happy with everything.
You gotta be a Floyd Mayweather type of dude. You gotta deal with that type of pressure and not let it break you.
Benavidez letting Benavidez for the most part, and I know Benavidez in his best day had, like he did against Joe Smith, can turn you, even with all that freakish punching power and the volume and all that. But he also had really good feet, and his feet were still good even losing to Bivol in the rematch.
Can he go front foot and outbox him? Probably not. Is he faster than him? Probably not. You know, is his ring IQ as good as Benavidez? Absolutely not. Can he move as well as Benavidez? No. Okay, so what the f have we got then?
The WBC light heavyweight champion left fans and fellow fighters stunned as he dominated the ring, systematically breaking down his opponent and leaving no doubt about his supremacy. What unfolded in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia was a display of precision, power, and relentless aggression, showing exactly why Benavidez is one of boxing's most feared fighters today.
Oh yeah, as soon as I busted him up, his face was bleeding. I'm like, this is what you wanted? You wanted a shootout, right? You wanted a shootout. And I was just talking a little shit, you know what I mean? It was just my ego. The monster started coming out, so, you know, we just let that go.
What did he say?
He didn't say nothing. He didn't say nothing.
Why is that? Why do you think? Do you feel like you got to him at that point? What round do you feel like you had him personally?
I had got him when he held my hand in the end of the round, and I started hitting him. I hit him with like 14 shots, but they were all hard. I know exactly what I could do. Once he was trying to hold my arm, and I hit him with like 14 shots, and if the first one didn't hurt him, the next 5 or 6 hurt him. You know what I mean? So, and like I said, that's where that fight changed. That's where it changed that.
From the opening bell, it was clear that Benavidez had a strategy in mind. Yarde tried to find his rhythm early, throwing counters and mixing up his attacks, but Benavidez's focus never wavered. In the first round, both fighters exchanged rights and lefts, with Yarde managing to land a right hand just over a minute into the round. Benavidez responded with his own powerful right hand, forcing Yarde to reset his footing. The bout's intensity built quickly, signaling a fight where Benavidez would steadily increase the pressure, while Yarde would struggle to keep up.
This fight trying to box off the back foot for 12 rounds. Yep, he needed it.
David has the same body as Tyson Fury.
Not only does he have quick hands and power, but he's so calm and fluid with the combinations. He fights so relaxed.
Yarde is not throwing power because his arms are tired, because he's muscle bound, and he doesn't want to leave himself out there to get countered by the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pieces of David Benavidez. That's why. And I don't know why he's on the ropes. Why are you on the ropes? You should have trained to move for 12 rounds. Not dance, but just walk David Benavidez. Walk him into a corner, spin out, get off. Bing, bing, bing. He's just standing there getting, man, this heavy bag practice right now. Benavidez doing what Benavidez does. He's getting off. Oh, my goodness. Yarde start holding now, unless you know that I was getting to him. And then he tries to answer with his offense, and it's not there.
Still waiting for this fight to heat up.
He's physically tired, and the punishment is wearing him down, too. Oh, that's not a good punch to throw. Don't throw that, y'all. Oh, my goodness. David Benavidez with a lead right hand. So disrespectful.
Referee says bring him up. Benavidez has never been muscular. He's always been kind of soft around that midsection. Maybe he doesn't like the body shots.
Somebody said I'm driving. Let me see the round. I'll show y'all the next round. Y'all trying to get me down. Benavidez getting in his rhythm, man. I've seen Benavidez sharper, but he's definitely getting in his rhythm right now. They got to talk to him.
In the second round, Benavidez showcased his ability to control the ring. He pressed Yarde into the ropes early, landing a clean right hand. Yarde fired back with a left hook that briefly forced Benavidez to step back, but the champion remained composed. His timing and awareness allowed him to keep the fight moving toward his advantage, making Yarde work from a defensive position, while Benavidez dictated the pace.
As expected. No disrespect to Yarde, as expected. Done his thing. Well done to him, he showed a lot of heart in there, but listen, Benavidez was too much.
Like I said, he did show heart, but that punching combinations from Benavidez, fast hands, seemed to break him down.
He didn't respect Yarde, did he? He didn't respect him, he just walked through everything he had. But yeah, hopefully he'll be in with Beterbiev or Bivol next. That'll be good to see.
Just talk to me about Devin Haney's performance against Brian Norman Jr.
You know what? I thought if he was more aggressive, he would have got him out there. But listen, he put on a clinic, got the win, and he's what is he, 3 or 2 weight world champion now.
The third round saw Yarde attempting to fight back, throwing punches with a mix of aggression and caution. Benavidez landed 2 right hands toward the end of the round, reminding viewers that while Yarde could land shots, it was Benavidez who controlled the action. The Mexican-born champion's movement, timing, and ability to read Yarde's attacks made it clear that this fight was tilting increasingly in his favor.
When he was holding my hand and I got him like a lot of punches, I don't know how much punches I got him with, maybe 10, 14, because I heard him. And I knew I heard him, and that's when it started changing. You know, I started putting the jab in, and I kept hurting him. He had cut me in the eye, and I felt the blood coming down, and then I threw a combination, I threw a flurry, and I seen his face busted up, so I'm like, okay, I have him here. We kept trying to get it. I knocked him down. I didn't see that he was on the floor, but he was on the floor. They took 2 points away from me, and that woke something up in me. Because I didn't know if they were going to stop the fight from the cut, and I don't know if I was down or not. 2 points down, they took away from me, so I'm like, we had to do something here. And I seen the opportunity. We were touching, and pulled back with the left foot, and it was over from there.
By the fourth round, both fighters were trading blows in the center of the ring, each landing right hands in exchanges that showed their resilience. Benavidez's consistent pressure, however, was beginning to tell. Near the end of the round, after an intense flurry, he had Yarde on the defensive, demonstrating his power and ability to sustain attacks over multiple rounds. The crowd could sense the shift as Yarde began to show signs of fatigue and wear.
Beterbiev letting Benavidez for the most part, and I know Beterbiev in his best day had, like he did against Joe Smith, can turn you, even with all that freakish punching power and the volume and all that, but he also had really good feet. And his feet were still good, even losing to Bivol in the rematch. But at 41 years old, still at the end of the day, more of an aggressive fighter than a guy who's just going to turn you and outbox you. He's going to take the fight to Benavidez. And I think, again, it's fair to say at 28 years old against, wait a minute. Why am I saying this? David Benavidez is moving up to cruiserweight.
The fifth round intensified the action. Yarde landed a right uppercut with just over a minute remaining, but Benavidez kept his composure and countered effectively. In an exchange about a minute later, both fighters landed right hands, but it was clear that Benavidez's sustained combinations were having a more significant effect. Toward the final minute, Benavidez backed Yarde into the ropes and landed multiple right hands, each one reinforcing his dominance. This was a critical moment, signaling the beginning of the fight's final phase, where Benavidez would escalate his attack even further.
He'll move up, he'll win 2 belts at cruiserweight, 3-division champ, and all that, but that's good. And the Jai Opetaia fight has substance. That's a very difficult fight. Benavidez would prove a lot to purists in the game, real boxing heads, if he could beat Opetaia. People rate Opetaia. He's the best cruiserweight in the world, but it's not a big fight. And Benavidez was ducked by Canelo at 68. And then, Bivol and the WBC has no consistency. They let Benavidez be ducked by Canelo for like 3 years and then gave Bivol 2 months after the Beterbiev fight and said, we're going to strip you. So, I do wish Bivol would have given Benavidez the fight. I've been saying that was the fight at light heavyweight, not a trilogy with Beterbiev. But the champion was fresh off the fight, 2 months, 3 months out of the ring.
Benavidez's control continued into the sixth round. After a brief moment where Yarde tried to push back with a right hand, Benavidez quickly moved him to the center and started landing a relentless series of punches. A right uppercut by Yarde earlier in the round prompted Benavidez to respond with aggressive attacks, blooding Yarde's nose and forcing him into a defensive posture. The champion unleashed combinations that would keep Yarde on the back foot until the bell rang, leaving no doubt about who had the upper hand.
The WBC has no consistency, so Bivol gets, a pass, but Canelo ducked him, and it just sucks that this guy might be the best light heavyweight and maybe was the best super middleweight in the world. I definitely think he was the best super middleweight in the world, and just never got the opportunity. That sucks. And but for the fight itself, Benavidez, Yarde this was like the Beterbiev fight for Yarde. He starts off the first 2 rounds sharp and very textbook, giving his best Floyd Mayweather look, but not being extra, just having an educated jab and giving good, smart angles. and just letting the fight come to him and fighting a good fight. And then at the end of the second round, or maybe early in the third round against Benavidez, he got cute, is the best way I could describe it.
When the 7th round began, the outcome became inevitable. Yarde's bloodied nose was evident, prompting referee Hector Rafu to call in a ringside doctor before allowing the fight to continue. Less than a minute into the round, Benavidez landed a series of brutal head and body shots that sent Yarde to the canvas. Despite a minor penalty when Benavidez hit Yarde with a left hand while he was down, the referee soon stepped in to halt the action at 1 minute and 59 seconds, sparing Yarde further punishment. Benavidez's relentless assault had effectively ended the contest, securing a decisive TKO victory.
I just don't know what the game plan was, if I'm dead honest, mate. It reminded me, for large portions of it, the fight that he had with Kovalev. Very low output, lots of waiting, lots of looking. I don't know whether he thought Benavidez was going to get tired or there was going to be an opportunity to detonate, and maybe that's what he was thinking. If I hit him once, he's going to wobble, and then we can start unloading and save all that energy for the tank. But anybody that's seen David Benavidez fight knows full well that he's very elusive. His feet are very, very good for a big fella. His hands are fast. His hands are potent. And it was very, very one-sided.
The boxing world responded with awe and admiration. Analysts praised Benavidez's tactical approach, noting how he gradually wore Yarde down over multiple rounds, forcing him into vulnerable positions before delivering the finishing sequences. The champion's combination of patience, timing, and explosive power impressed even seasoned commentators. Many highlighted how Benavidez maintained focus, never allowing frustration or the challenger's brief moments of success to distract him from his game plan. Observers agreed that the Mexican monster had delivered a textbook performance, blending precision with aggression to dominate the fight.
It was very one-sided, and it was an unusual game plan. But then if I'm Team Anthony Yarde, and obviously I was going into the fight, I would love him to have won that fight because he's had an incredible journey in the sport, and the success that he's had, the levels that he's been to, bearing in mind the pedigree that he's got, is nothing short of phenomenal. But I guess that's what it is. You've got to look at where what skill set does Benavidez bring into the ring, and what does Yarde bring into the ring? What are Yarde's strengths? Can he go front foot and outbox him? Probably not. Is he faster than him? Probably not. You know, is his ring IQ as good as Benavidez? Absolutely not. Can he move as well as Benavidez? No. Okay, so what the f have we got then? Well, our physical attribute is our strength, our chin, our pride.
They applauded Benavidez's ability to read Yarde's movements and adjust mid-fight. His control over ring space, coupled with a skill in landing successful combinations, made it difficult for anyone to argue against his supremacy. Many noted that while Yarde is a talented challenger with notable power and heart, he was consistently outmatched by Benavidez's pace, stamina, and technical skill.
So, kind of like the Kovalev one, it was more like back foot, playing possum, trying to walk Benavidez onto something, trying to bring him onto a big Anthony Yarde shot. The problem is, well, on the rare occasions when he did have a bit of success, Benavidez took it really well. And because he's got a good chin also. I just think this game's about levels, and it feels shitty saying this about Anthony Yarde again, but he's come to the top of the sport 3 times now and fallen short. But you know what, for a second, let's just call it how it is though. In terms of 3 world title fights, that run is as difficult as any British fighter in living memory.
It reminds me of Luke Campbell's run to try and become a world champion.
Yeah.
The fight also demonstrated Benavidez's mental toughness. He weathered Yarde's early counterattacks and navigated moments where Yarde threatened to shift momentum. Instead of panicking or overcommitting, he allowed Yarde to expand energy while gradually taking control. By the middle rounds, Yarde's attempts to respond had minimal effect, a testament to Benavidez's ring IQ and tactical discipline. Commentators highlighted how this combination of skill and strategy distinguishes championship-level fighters from contenders, reinforcing Benavidez's status as a dominant champion.
I know that definitely hurt him because I know he's never been hit like that.
How did it feel to stop him in that moment in the 7th?
It felt good, man. It felt good. You know, I haven't got a stoppage in like 3 fights, so I just maybe like 3 fights. Yeah, it's 3 fights. So I love stopping people. You know, I love how that feels, and I'm really happy. I still need to look at the highlights. I haven't even seen the highlights, but you know, I'm just really happy with everything.
The fight's dynamics also attracted attention for the way Benavidez managed distance and engagement. Early on, Yarde attempted to capitalize on brief openings, landing counters and mixing up attacks. However, Benavidez consistently brought him back into controlled positions, using both the center of the ring and the ropes strategically. Observers noted that this ability to manipulate the ring and dictate positioning is what allows champions like Benavidez to conserve energy while maximizing damage output. Professionals praise this aspect as a clear demonstration of high-level boxing intelligence.
David Benavidez, predictably, at least for me, stopped Anthony Yarde in 7 pretty one-sided rounds, it has to be said. Now, the reason why I say predictably is because when this fight was announced, my first thought was Benavidez is going to win this fight handily. And my prediction was Benavidez to win it on a late stoppage between rounds 10 to, or not rounds 10, rounds 8 to 10, thereabouts. So I was almost there. He stopped him in round 7. I thought he'd win it in one-sided fashion, and he did. I didn't think he would take the damage, Anthony Yarde, that he did. This right here was a damaging fight, to say the least. It's a fight that should have been stopped, in my opinion, maybe 2 rounds earlier than it was.
Fans and analysts alike noted how Benavidez's power was evident, not just in single punches, but in sustained sequences that cumulatively overwhelmed Yarde. By the 5th and 6th rounds, it was apparent that Yarde's strategy of counterpunching could not withstand the champion's relentless combinations. Each round added pressure, gradually eroding Yarde's defenses until the final decisive flurry ended the fight. Professionals pointed out that such systematic breakdowns are the hallmark of elite fighters, and Benavidez executed it with near-perfect timing.
His only hope is that Benavidez apparently is moving up to cruiserweight to fight Zerdo in May, so it does free up a title. Maybe you could pick that vacant one up, who knows, but the beating you took tonight, it's going to take some coming back from. I thought that Yarde should have left his trainer Tunde Ajayi many years ago, 5 years ago now actually, almost 5 years ago actually, 2020. And people are saying, well, maybe now he'll leave him. Well, you may as well just close the barn door after the horse has already bolted. You know? Let's talk about this fight. So, going into this fight, I was making Benavidez the firm favourite. From the first round, you could tell that the writing was on the wall. Yarde came out in the first round. He tried to establish his jab, didn't have much success with it. In that kind of Philly shell, shoulder roll, Floyd Mayweather-esque defense.
The victory solidified Benavidez's position as one of the top light heavyweight champions in the world. Beyond retaining his WBC title, his performance sent a message across the boxing community that his combination of technique, power, and ring intelligence is extremely difficult to overcome. Analysts emphasized that this fight would likely influence rankings, future matchups, and the broader narrative of light heavyweight boxing. Pros noted that challengers would now have to prepare differently, knowing that Benavidez can methodically dismantle even powerful opponents like Yarde.
But he was overexerting himself in the first round. Benavidez was just putting it on him. He was on him like a bad smell. And he was throwing everything at him. He was throwing hooks, he was throwing uppercuts, he was throwing body shots, head shots, everything. And not only was Anthony Yarde getting hit with a lot of them, he was letting himself be backed up to the ropes. He had nothing. He never really stood his ground. Like, he showed heart in a sense if he took a beating, but he never really sat on those shots and decided, right, let's just go, slug it out. I'm going to hit you hard and see what happens. Didn't do that. I think he should have sold out earlier, as in sold out, just gone for it from very early on. That would have been his best option. Because the longer he left it, the more he was taking a beating, the more his gas tank was draining, the less likely it was going to be that he was going to find something, and that was ultimately what happened.
The fight also highlighted the importance of stamina and conditioning in championship bouts. Yarde's early energy allowed him some success, but as the rounds progressed, Benavidez's endurance and consistent pressure became decisive. There would be a high praise of the champion's conditioning, noting that his ability to maintain intensity and precision over 7 grueling rounds demonstrates a level of preparation that few opponents can match.
Sometimes you need the strength in your own home. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'd rather get beat at my own home than getting beat by every other person that, you know what I mean, and get taken advantage of. But this is a life that not too much people understand. You know what I mean? This is a life where I wake up every day. I wake up at 5 a.m., I run 7 miles. I come back, I'll spar 13 rounds, then I'll go back and train again. This life is not made for everybody. So people who talking about that child abuse, they don't understand this type of life. I mean, look at my eye, look how I look. You know, man, I'm happy. You know what I mean? I'm giving everybody high fives. And, you know, I got a cut on my face. I just knocked the guy out. You know what I mean? This is not a life that everybody can understand.
That was David Benavidez showing why he's one of the most feared champions in boxing today. The way he dismantled Anthony Yarde left the boxing world in awe, and reactions from pros only prove how dominant he truly is. If you love this breakdown and want to see more epic boxing moments, predictions, and fight reactions, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Ring Rivalry. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss the latest updates from the ring.